All right, my name is David Stalka. This is my video for personal leadership, and it's an overview of the 4 classes and kind of like my application and what I learned from it. So class 1, one of the things that really stood out to me was just we were talking about the cycle in like kind of mental health a little bit, but there's a cycle where we will have like self-doubt and we think we aren't good enough, and that will make us act a certain way. And usually that way is going to look like not trying. If we think we're not good enough, we won't try. And then if we don't try, people see us not trying and they assume we're lazy most of the time. So then they treat us like we can't do anything. And when we see that other people treat us like we can't do anything, we think we're not good enough. So it's just a continual cycle, and it's really not healthy. And then, so that's one of the main things I got from class 1. Class 2 was on emotions and emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is like social awareness and self-management. So the ability to manage my emotions, but also the ability to recognize other people's emotions around me, and just learning how to interact with people around me. That was one of the things we talked about in class. Class 3 was on mental health. Mental health is the description that was given in class was like a gas gauge on a car. So your gas gauge might show that it's empty, but you still have a little bit of gas left so that you can get to a gas station and fill up. And basically that was just saying that you don't have to like run out and then just die or like your car would stall and die. But you can find places to fill up your energy, mental energy, physical energy, stuff like that, and just like your mental energy mainly. But just that when you realize you're running low, being able to realize that and then figure out how to fill back up instead of just running on empty all the time. And then one of the other things that was brought up is because we're in ministry, we're going to be attacked a lot by the enemy, and we need to figure out like how to deal with those attacks. Some of the places we will be attacked by the enemy, and there's like a list of 5 things that we need to be on the lookout that the enemy will likely attack us with, and one of those is comparison. Comparison is the thief of all joy, so that's going to be one of the things we deal with a lot. That's one of the things I deal with personally a lot is comparison, and it really does take away any enjoyment. So the other is going to be loss. We are going to be dealing with loss as we move through life, and we just need to figure out like how to give that to the Lord really, but also not to, one of the other things is depression. So like when you deal with loss, not falling into depression and realizing that that is one of the ways the enemy is going to attack you. The 4th would be anxiety. I think a lot of people deal with anxiety. I deal with it a good bit. And realizing that that is an attack from the enemy and that that's something we don't have to sit in. And then 5th being fear, which everyone deals with to a certain extent, but some a lot more than others. And again, those are like attacks of the enemy that we need to realize because we're going into ministry, that's going to be a lot more prevalent. Class 4, that was the one we just had today, and it was talking about how all of us have a limp, and we kind of need to discover what that limp is and figure out how we can heal from that. And so figure out what the limp is and then see like how do we deal with it. And one of the things you deal with when you have a limp is you have a crutch. And so like a crutch or a cane, and what would our crutch and cane be? For Christians, it would be the church body and just fellow believers and being able to lean on them and ask for prayer and ask for help. Another topic we talked about was ego. Talked about that for most of the class, and it was pretty good. It was we talked about pride versus confidence and what the difference is in that, and how pride is the root of a lot of issues, but confidence is like our confidence in Christ, so that it gives us the ability to do things with the confidence that Christ has us versus like pride.